Namaste, welcome to Arthaniti. Before we slip into the weekend, today a little financial gyan about mutual fund investing. Many investors in mutual funds blindly invest their money, saying that when there is a fund manager in place and when the investor is paying for employing the fund manager, there is no further use for the investor to go through the details of the scheme. Well, this is a very wrong notion with which one should rather invest one's hard-earned money. This is what sets apart a good investor from a bad, ill-informed investor, right? The very least that a person can do before putting in money into a mutual fund scheme is to go through the offer document. Now, in this video, we will try and answer two questions. What is an offer document and what details should a mutual fund investor look out for in the offer document? Well, like when a company comes up with an IPO, initial public offer of shares, it has to submit a prospectus with the registrar of companies. A mutual fund house also has to submit a detailed information memorandum with SEBI when it launches a new scheme. Correct? Now, this detailed information memorandum is called the offer document. This document is normally attested with the application form in a shorter, smaller format. Now, this smaller format is called Key Information Memorandum, KIM. Now, it is expected that the mutual fund distributor or the advisor normally gives the KIM to the mutual fund investor before signing the dotted line on investing. Correct? If your advisor or mutual fund distributor is not providing you with KIM, please ask them for the KIM and go through the KIM and then check the suitability of a particular scheme vis-a-vis your investment goals, right? Because see, finally it is your money and the decisions that you take regarding your money are the best. Correct. So, if your advisor or distributor is not providing the KIM, it is your responsibility to ask for it and see to it that the KIM is given to you before you invest your money. Let us check how a KIM looks like. What are the details of the KIM first? Now here I have taken the example of a KIM, Key Information Memorandum of ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund. Now this is easily available on the mutual fund website. Now if you check the Key Information Memorandum, it runs to for 36 long pages. What are the few details that you should check as a mutual fund investor before you invest? Correct. Let's look at those pointers one by one. Now, if you see below the ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund name, it clearly states that it is an open-ended equity scheme predominantly investing in large cap stocks. So, you know where your money is going to go. It is going to go in large cap equity stocks. So what are large cap companies? Well, companies which are well established in the market, who feature in the top 100 companies and who have a market capitalization of 20,000 crores and more, all become part of the large cap stocks, right? Medium cap stocks are from 100 to 250, companies ranking between 100 to 250 with a market cap of 5,000 crores to 20,000 crores, and all companies who have a market capitalization below 5,000 crores are termed as small cap companies. So you know where your funds are going to flow. So the first thing that this scheme tells you is the objective of the scheme. Then below that, if you see, it says this product is suitable for investors who are seeking long-term wealth creation. So if you want to invest your money, say for 6 months or 1 year, this is not the scheme for you. Even if any advisor or like you are getting suggestions of this particular scheme, if you know your time horizon is 1 year or 1.5 years, after which you will need the funds, then you surely should not look at such schemes, correct? It then again says equity scheme predominantly investing in large cap funds, correct? Now the next thing that you should check is the riskometer. Now the riskometer tells the various levels of risk that the investors will face when they put their funds in this scheme. This scheme, being an equity oriented scheme, has a very high risk uh, embedded with the scheme, correct? Now benchmark is what normally an index against which the performance of this particular scheme is compared. Now this index is Nifty 100 TRI, total return index. TRI stands for total return index. What TRI basically means is, along with capital appreciation, the appreciation in the value of the particular stock, any dividends that are declared are also assumed to be reinvested in that particular stock. So along with capital appreciation, any dividend returns are taken together, and then total return index is what TRI means. So the benchmark for this particular fund is Nifty 100 TRI. The risk factor of the benchmark also is in the very high risk category. So again, this tells you the risk that is involved while investing in this particular scheme, and do you want to take that much risk? Do you have that much risk taking capacity? The next thing that you should pay attention to is the investment objective. Now here it says to generate long-term capital appreciation and income distribution to investors from a portfolio which is predominantly equity and equity related instruments, correct? So again, this investment objective is specifically written and you should check whether it matches with your objective. Next thing that you should check is asset allocation pattern. How are the funds that you are going to invest in this particular scheme going to be invested and returns generated? Now for this particular scheme, which is the blue chip scheme, which we have taken as an example for this video, predominantly equity and equity related instruments of large cap companies is where the money is going to be invested in. Around 80 to 100% of the funds will go in equity and equity related companies. Around 20%, up to 20% can go in medium and small cap, which says equity instruments of other than large cap. So that money can go in medium and small cap as well, but majority, nearly 80% of your funds will be invested in large cap company stocks, right? Again, it has a leeway wherein it can invest up to 20% in debt and money market instruments as well, correct? So this is, by this you come to know the combination in which your money will be further invested by that particular scheme. So up till now, what we have seen the type of fund, which is a equity fund investing in large cap stocks. Then we have seen the investment objectives, which you should align with your own objectives. We have seen the benchmark index and the risk factor embedded in this particular scheme. The next thing that you should check is the expense ratios of the particular scheme. Now for this scheme, it says that there will be no entry load. But when it comes to exit load, when you want to redeem your money from the scheme, if you do it within 1 year, 1% of the applicable NAV will be charged as an exit load. And if you do it after 1 year, there will be no exit load. After entry and exit loads, what you should check are actual recurring expenses. These are the costs that are deducted from your returns. Well, for this particular scheme, If you do not invest in a direct plan, then you will be charged around 1.77% as actual recurring expenditure. Whereas if you do not go through a broker or an advisor or a mutual fund distributor, but directly invest in this particular scheme, then you will be charged a little lower expense ratio, which is 1.08%. Correct? These are very, very important points that you should check because they eat into your returns. So, compare the expense ratio of this particular scheme with similar schemes that are available in the market. Now here, if we compare ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund, for which we are checking out the KIM, with HDFC Top 100, both are similar funds investing in large cap equity stocks, right? The expense ratio of direct plans for ICICI Blue Chip are 1.07%, whereas for HDFC Blue Chip, it is 1.13%. So you know which fund is charging a higher expense ratio. While comparing the expense ratio, what you should check is the expense ratio vis-a-vis the returns that the fund has given on the basis of historical data. The next thing that you should check is the fund management team. Now, above the expense ratio in the key information memorandum, you can see it is available on page 3 in this particular scheme. It says that the scheme will be managed by Mr. Anish Tawakle and Vaibhav Dusad. Now it says it also gives the experience that these particular fund managers have in managing these schemes. Also, when it comes to international investing, which is a mandate for this particular scheme as well, there is a third fund manager, Sharmila Dimello, who will be looking after the international investments of this particular scheme. So you know the team behind managing, who is going to manage your money. Blindly giving your money in someone's hand is not the right investing strategy, correct? Doing the homework and knowing who are the people, are they capable enough. If you dig in further, you will come to know the experience that Mr. Anish and Mr. Vaibhav have in this area, correct? And Sharmila as well, correct? So depending on their experience and their track record, you will come to know whether your money is in safe hands or no. If you go on a little further into the KIM document, you will come to know the various portfolio holdings, the various companies in which this particular scheme has invested. Now, this says that the top 10 holdings, this is for the details are given for the September quarter. Now, ICICI Bank is the this scheme holds the largest amount of shares in ICICI Bank, which is nearly 10%. Then Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, Infosys, L&T, Bharti Airtel, SBI Life Insurance and Maruti Suzuki, some of the top company names, large cap company names where this particular scheme has invested in. See here, what you can check, what you need to check while checking these company details are how are these companies. In the case now, all of us know what has happened with Adani stocks. It has been in news for quite some time that the PE ratio, the price earning ratio of Adani stocks was exorbitantly high. Add to it the huge debt that the group had accumulated. Now, all of us already knew that Adani stocks, investing in Adani stocks was very well a risky proposition given the fundamentals of those stocks, right? Now, does Adani feature in this list? Well, no. Then one risk factor that you analyze to be riskier, where you could lose your money, is filtered out, right? Again, some industries, say a company like ITC, which earns majority of its profits from manufacturing of cigarettes, Now, if that does not align with your goals and aims, your ethics, then you know that that is not the company where you want your money to flow. Correct? This is just one example that I am giving you. Correct? Likewise, if you are bullish, say on healthcare or banking stocks, and this particular fund is investing in those sectors, then you know your money is flowing, getting invested in the right area, in the right sector where you think there is a bright future. So checking these details is very, very important. So see, these were the details that you as an investor need to check. Well, the document, as I told you, ran into 36 pages, but these 5-6 points, the very basic that you should come to know, you should study, read about before investing your money. See, offer document is an important source of information from the perspective of an investor. So that is the only major source through which you can get all the details. See, as it is normally said, buyer beware. It is you who should be aware about the risk, about the investment objective before you put in your money. So the onus is on the investor. The onus is on the investor about checking the goals of the scheme, and whether they are matching with your particular goals, whether they are matching with your risk taking capacity. It is the onus of on the investor. So key information memorandum or the offer document tells you exactly the details that you should know. Right now, like how often is the scheme issued, or is it only issued once in the lifetime of the scheme? Well, for close-ended schemes, offer document is issued at the time of IPO. But for open-ended schemes, offer document is issued every 2 years. Any changes in the fundamental character of the scheme, any changes in the management team of the scheme have to be recorded in the offer document, like as and when these changes occur. So you need to be, what can I say, any changes that your investment scheme, any changes that undergo with your investment scheme, you will come to know about them from these documents. So do not ignore the offer document. It is one of the very important and basic information that you should read about before you put in your money in any mutual fund scheme. So I hope you have come to know the importance of offer document, and you will never ignore an offer document. Read it for yourself and take your own decisions before you put in your money in any investment mutual fund scheme. Any queries you have, please feel free to comment below the video, and I will be happy to help you. Enjoy your weekend and see you next week. Bye.